And Naveen, wanted to understand what is the challenge that you are facing, especially as a as a budding company. What are the things that you face? What are the challenges, especially in the semicon industry, one with lateral as well as with freshers?
Great. So, as we can see, we have experts here who are into manufacturing, right? So, we have someone representing Intel, one from our own Indian, semicon design company, and we have one from Juniper. All of these people are manufacturing for end users, and we are the last people who integrate all of these semiconductors into one final box and give it to the end users, right? So, when we are looking at how big the entire industry is, it's about $530 billion industry global level right now. And the requirements of skilled people or the engineers or the technicians by 2030 is going to be about 1.3 million people. Yeah, that's what we are looking for in India itself. Now imagine 13 lakh engineers in different parts or the different variations of the entire semicon program what we have to get them. I'm sure in an engineering college, we definitely need to dedicate a year only for the semiconductor technologies, right? So I'll tell you why I'm telling this. I'm telling this because the mistakes that we have done at Ridex when we started hiring people uh, who are not scaled up to the level that we wanted, right? So imagine we use semiconductors in every board that we use for our televisions, or even the backlight systems of our televisions, the motherboard, logic board, the remote controllers, and infrared sensors, and even the cameras that we use for video conferencing in our TVs. We use semiconductors, and a lot of people are not adapting to the new age technologies today, right? Let's say the freshers whom we are trying to hire are stuck in one single cube. They don't have that exposure towards what's coming every day. What I feel here exactly we need to do is, I think engineering colleges need to have a dedicated year specifically to understand more about the in, out, and the peripherals of the entire semiconductor industry. Let's say for we have electronics and electricals in electrical engineering, right? E&E. So probably a dedication of a year there might really help to build this number of engineers that are required for Indian market itself. Right now what we are seeing is the same. We are not getting any kind of experts. We are having people who are uh, who have basic ideas, and companies need to train them from scratch to understand what semiconductors are, the applications. Semiconductors are not only the hardware components, we also do have the softwares part where we call it as firmware. So even we need to train people not only towards the hardware fab and the design, but also towards building the right firmware for it, because that's the life of the entire, right? So I'll tell you the real time challenge that we have actually faced about 2 years ago. We wanted to do a major upgrade in our televisions. The chipset was there, but unfortunately, we didn't have a right kind of skilled people in our organization to do that particular upgrade, because the chipset was already supporting, but we didn't have people who could write a perfect firmware for it to be executed, right? So students are stuck in a box. They are looking at only the academia. I mean, to be very, very honest, internships is what you're telling. What does 3 months internship teach them? Nothing. A lot of students come in for an internship just for a certificate. I'm being very bold about it, right? Just certificate. But what you people are doing is really great. I mean, 1 year of internship is that's going to prepare a lot of students for what industry standards are. And once the internship is done, then we can hire them as freshers and start putting them to really responsible roles. So I feel uh, teaching after that internship has to be done in a right way, and then we need to bring them on board to the main positions in the organization. We face these issues and we wanted to solve them. To solve them, we need support not only from the government. Also students should be very much interested that what China, what Taiwan, and what other Southeast Asian countries did during 1980s. The same thing has to come here in India right now, and we the entrepreneurs should take up that challenge. The students who are in academia, they have to take up the challenge that we have to make sure our country is getting that semicon industry which Southeast Asia already has, and they need to brush up their talent every single day with the latest available knowledge. It's very important for them. So don't aim for certificates. Get on grounds, do your research, and then do internships at a very good organizations where they can teach a lot. Then get on board. You have a wonderful industry to explore and learn from.
kind of summing it up, what you're saying is you're playing a catch-up race which is 40 years late. One second, what adding, kind of summing what Raghu and you told together. So basically, what you're saying is 2 years in college enough. Third year you spend in the center of excellence in your college. Fourth year you spend in the company. At least you will be employable by the end of it. Because I also like a very big proponent that education is different from academia.
Education is just a qualification criteria, but academia is totally different.